when this will be posted because I really don't want to say too much because I'm honestly terrified of jinxing something, so I want to kind of keep it on the down low until things are more final or it completely goes through. I don't even know. But I also want to record the process while we're going through it. I just probably won't upload it anytime soon. But we went and looked at a house in a local community a few weeks ago when Christopher was in town, which we kind of talked about, but I didn't vlog the tour or anything. And we sat down with a lady and talked about financials and credit. Then she gave us a list of things we could do to bring his credit up so that they could work with us. And we did like all of the things that they told us to do. And we provided them with all this proof that we did it, and we were just waiting for his credit score to update and hopefully update enough to hit that 580 minimum requirement. And she like sent stuff off to her manager and like her lender or whatever it was. They did a credit simulation to try and determine like what his score would be once we did all of that stuff, and they did that, and on their end it shows that his score will raise enough based off of what we did. And so between all of that stuff, they decided that we could go ahead and get a purchase agreement done now while we're waiting for the credit bureaus to update, I guess. It's kind of confusing. But we talked to the lady a bunch. Basically, she emailed us a contract today to buy the house. It's like more so a purchase agreement because we still have to go talk to the lender to see if we actually will be approved for a loan and get that started. But we received the contract today via email. Christopher printed it all out and signed it, and we had to send in pictures of it back signed because they couldn't do an e-sign on it. So we've signed the contract to get started on buying this house. And tomorrow I have to go to the store and get a money order because with this place you have to put down what is called earnest money. So we have to put $1,000 down for earnest money, which will put our claim on it, and they will take the house off the market while we go through this buying process so that nobody else buys it out from under us, basically. And then if everything goes as planned, that earnest money will be applied to closing costs, and the company actually will pay the remaining closing costs themselves instead of us having to pay it, which is kind of nice. So I have to do that tomorrow. I have to get the money order and I have to take it to her to officially finalize the contract and get the house off the market while we work on getting our loan. For some reason, neither one of us got any videos or pictures of this house when we first toured it, which I'm really beating myself over it because I'm having a lot of trouble visualizing what I saw because we saw like 2 or 3 houses. And it's hard to remember like which features I remembered seeing in which house. And the pictures online don't really give the full look that I would want or that I remember, if that makes any sense. So I've really been beating myself up about not getting pictures and stuff because I like to look and see what we're working for and like start figuring out how we would arrange things, which part of me doesn't want to get too ahead of myself and like get all these ideas for like layouts and decorations and stuff and then just get let down. But at the same time, it's like really fun and I need something positive to think about, to look forward to with everything going on right now. Anyways, that's where we're at right now. Signed a contract, gotta get them the earnest money. And sometime next week, Christopher has to do a virtual appointment with the actual lender, because who we're talking to, she's kind of like a realtor, but not really. And then they have like their lenders. So he has to have an appointment with the lender just to go through bank statements, employment verification, income verification, whatever else they need, and get the loan process started, get the loan itself started. Based off of our contract that we were given today, they're giving us an estimated closing date of October 4th, but it could be sooner, it said. And that's if everything goes well, which we really, really need it to, because this is like our last option. So once he does that meeting, hopefully everything looks good and they work with us and we get approved for a loan, and then there won't be much else to it. It'll just be closing if we get approved for the loan. So he has to do that appointment sometime next week. He was going to do it Monday afternoon, but we were on FaceTime a few minutes ago and realized that Monday is Labor Day, and I don't think she meant to tell him that Monday was available, because I feel like I highly doubt they're going to be working on Labor Day, because nobody works on Labor Day. I mean, that's where we're at on this house situation right now, and I am seriously hoping with every bone in my body that nothing goes wrong, and ideally the closing date, closing happens sooner than the estimated closing date, because I was given a 30-day notice by my grandmother to be out, and that 30-day notice ends 5 days before that estimated closing date. So the sooner this happens and the sooner we're out of this house, the better. Got the money order, so let's go drop it off. Okay, so I dropped off the money order to the place. So money is dropped off, and she said we are officially under contract as of today. It's the day of our loan appointment interview thing. I don't even know exactly what this is. It's just, all we know is it's an appointment with the lender. It's in 2 hours. The dude sent an email with the link to join, since we have to do it virtually because Christopher's in Ohio, and the writing in the email says, "Hello, Mr. Decker. Congratulations on the purchase of your LGI home," and then continues on with other information about his name, our appointment time, instructions, and I'm like, we were never told that we were officially approved for anything. So is that just are we approved, or do you just say that? That seems a little premature, because don't we still have to get the official approval? I'm confused. It got me really excited, and now you're doing it. My heart's beating fast, and I got butterflies in my stomach. So yeah, I don't know what to expect from this appointment, because I emailed her all of the paperwork they were asking for, but they're also saying we need to have the paperwork for the appointment, which, I mean, they kind of have standard instructions almost, but it doesn't apply to us the same way, because their stuff kind of alludes more towards when you're in the office with them in person for this, which our circumstances are different, so we're not physically in the office, we're doing it virtually. But, it says you need to bring all your paperwork, your tax returns, bank statements, pay stubs, stuff like that, which we already sent to her, so they have it, but they also want us to have it, which I feel like they probably won't actually ask us for it because they already sent it in. And she mentioned that there's some sort of e-sign that he's gonna have to do about the loan. So I don't know if this is to see if we are officially approved and we have to wait for the underwriter to tell us, or if this is literally us being okay, you're approved now, we have to officially start your loan.
Well, good. Well, nice to meet you. We've been working with you.
That appointment took almost 2 hours. So, yeah, kind of like I was assuming that was just going over everything, and he has to send it to an underwriter before we can get our final answer, so we're not officially approved for anything. But basically he said, like, we just went through everything, he told us all the rates, signed all the disclosures, just a bunch of tedious signing, reading, going through different stuff over and over and over again, making sure he has all the right income and all the right information and stuff. So now that we've got that all signed and stuff, they're gonna send that to, apparently they send it to a computerized underwriter first, and that generator decides whether you're approved or denied. But then it will be sent to a human underwriter just for them to make sure that he put everything in right and that, like, the information on the application matches Christopher's records, like his W-2s, his pay stubs, stuff like that. Make sure it all lines up and nothing was entered in wrong and stuff. And they said it takes about 4 to 5 days, which, counting the weekend, we'll probably hear back a final answer by next Tuesday at the latest, hopefully. I don't want to, like, assume I'll hear by then and then get really anxious, but I mean, 4 to 5 days depends on the weekend, obviously, and if today counts at all. We had it all figured out. Had the credit up, and it should have been fine until they realized that he made less this year because of the move, because he was out of work moving. So his income this year doesn't match last year's. And they're saying that they can't approve it without a co-signer whose income they could add or something. I don't know. Christopher doesn't explain stuff very well. But basically someone will need a co-signer who can help the income aspect of it, because even though he's saying, like, I have work now, like, by the end of the year I'm gonna be making close to what I made last year and even more next year, and that was just a random thing for moving. They can't just approve it. We're about to be freaking screwed. Can't approve, we're not getting approved to buy a house or approved to rent, so we literally can't do anything. I don't know if I've even updated anything. I don't remember if I've updated anything since my crying update about how we couldn't get the house, but we figured something out with the co-signer, and we had to try and, like, reapply somewhat, a little bit, not quite. We just, like, added the co-signer in, sent her information in to, and we're still waiting to see what they say. I don't know where we're at in this process. They're not, like, it's very confusing because I'm kind of like the bystander right now. Christopher is, like, the main guy to talk to because he's technically the one buying the house, but, you know, he doesn't understand things, so I usually do the financial / business side of things, like keeping track of stuff, getting the paperwork and all that stuff, and he's just kind of like the middle guy for me. So I don't know what they're saying, because whatever they're saying to him, and he's not good at relaying messages. So I'm not totally sure where in the process we're at. The lady at the house said that they were sending the information over to the lender and they would give us a call and let us know. But I don't know what they're supposed to be letting us know. Like, are we currently waiting to hear from the underwriter again? Is that what answer we're gonna get today or tomorrow? I'm not sure. She was supposed to call today. Christopher said he called her and she said that she'll let him know today or tomorrow. Apparently, I think is what they said. I don't know. Once the underwriter gives the answer, then we have to like officially start the loan. And appraisals, which thankfully the company pays for the appraisals. But I mean, it's a brand new house, so I don't really see it being an issue anyways. So they're gonna have to schedule the appraisal at some point and then figure out when we're gonna schedule to go to the title office. It's currently September 9th. I'm assuming our projected closing date is still October 4th, but hopefully sooner than that. Hopefully it won't take that long, because once we hear from the underwriter, it should be like relatively quick, because like we have all the approvals, they just have to do the appraisal and get us into the loan office pretty much. So my heart was absolutely crushed that day, and I was like terrified. I was like on the verge of so numb that I just wanted to disassociate and not think about it, because I was so stressed out and scared. But also the whole day I was on the verge of tears, just thinking like, what the hell are we gonna do? And then we figured something out, and I was scared to get my hopes up again, but it looks promising now, I would say. Like the way Christopher put it, if we get denied now with a cosigner, there's no way we would ever get a house, basically. Because everything on Christopher's end looked good. They just really did not like the fact that he missed a few months of work at the beginning of this year because of the move, and it set back his annual salary a little bit from what he made last year and what he like typically would make. And even though he's like, I have steady work the rest of the year, I'll catch almost all the way back up to last year, and next year I'm gonna exceed that. They didn't like it, so they said that he needed a cosigner to make his income higher. Huh? You spilled one again? Looks like even with a cosigner, we still can't get approved. I don't know what we're gonna do anymore. I don't know if we could be approved for a cheaper house. I don't know if that's even a possibility. I don't want to keep wasting money on rental applications just to be denied. I don't even know where to try anymore. And I'm running out of time.